You ever wake up thinking your days of chaos are over? Yeah, me too. Spoiler, life doesn't care about your plans. If you told me 10 years ago I'd be explaining to a county deputy why I just got tackled on my own driveway by two guys in fake uniforms demanding $200,000, I'd have laughed so hard I'd have spilled my bourbon. And yet, here I am, telling you about the day I learned peace is just a marketing term for people who can afford good locks. And even then, don't get too comfortable. 10 years back, I thought I'd seen the worst. Picture it, Texas courtroom, neon lit by cameras, microphones thrust in my face, people calling me the slayer of the nastiest HOA in the South. I was young then, okay, youngish, and foolish enough to believe that exposing a sociopath like Karen Dorman meant I could go home and sleep easy. Karen had tried everything, forging signatures, blackmailing retirees, trying to annex half the county under community improvement. When the judge handed her a 10-year stretch, I actually felt a little hope. That lasted about 5 minutes, right up until the news truck started camping on my lawn. Fame, as it turns out, is just a louder form of trouble. So I ran, left the headlines, the miracles clients wanted me to pull out of thin air, and every reminder of the life I'd built just to burn myself out. I bought 40 acres of Virginia pines on the edge of a lake, old enough that the deed predated indoor plumbing. No covenants, no associations, no nonsense. I built myself a little fortress, wraparound porch, dock for fishing, an office I barely used except to dust my old law books. Out here, silence isn't just an absence of sound. It's a thing you can feel. The cicadas drone, the thunder rolls off the hills, and the only board meeting is me arguing with a stubborn grill that predates the internet. And let me tell you, solitude's a beautiful thing until the world starts to creep back in. See, down the road, this cookie-cutter development started springing up, Willow Downs. Plastic fences, copy-paste lawns, and a president who reportedly fined a neighbor for having Christmas lights too festive. I laughed, figured as long as their little HOA empire kept to itself, they could boss each other around all day. Joke's on me. One Friday, I'm rolling back from the city with groceries, a cooler of beer, and enough steak to keep me and my two best friends happy all weekend. There's Sam, retired Marine, big on bourbon, small on patience. And Nate, FBI field agent. Met him when Karen first went to trial. We hadn't all been together in over a year. It was shaping up to be the kind of night where the only thing that should go wrong is running out of charcoal. Sunset paints the lake, and I turn onto my private road, tires crunching gravel, windows down. Life is good. Then I see them, white plastic barriers stenciled in black, private HOA property, access restricted. They weren't there last week. They look almost official if you squint, but too new, too temporary. I roll past, a little annoyed, but thinking, fine, I'll deal with it after the weekend. That's the universe's cue. You know that feeling when everything's just right, and you should know better than to trust it? That's when you're about to get blindsided. I'm hauling bags inside, prepping steaks, texting the guys, when I hear a dull thunk from down the road. Just some random noise, I think. Just a signpost going up. And sure enough, it's a sign, just not one I'd ever want to see. The next day, everything's normal until it isn't. I drive out for ice and propane, mind drifting, maybe humming along to some half-forgotten tune, and when I come back, bam, there it is. Not a sign, but a checkpoint. Bright orange plastic barricade. Two guys in knockoff uniforms and sunglasses that scream, mall cop, with delusions of grandeur. One's got a clipboard. The other has his hand a little too close to his sidearm. I roll down my window. Afternoon, gentlemen. What's this about? Clipboard steps up, voice flat as a parking ticket. You're entering Willow Downs Association property. There's a pending assessment. Do you have your resident card? I snort. This is my land. This road leads to my house. He doesn't blink. According to our records, this is Willow Downs jurisdiction. Before you proceed, you'll need to settle an outstanding community fee. And then, as if he's reading off a menu, he says $200,000. I laugh, thinking it's some kind of joke. It's not. To resolve the back usage of HOA infrastructure and legal incorporation costs, he says. Failure to pay will result in a lien and civil action. Now, you have to picture me, old lawyer instincts kicking in, anger bubbling up. Listen, this road was built in 1962. You're trespassing and committing extortion. Holster guy leans in. Sir, I'd advise you to calm down. That's when things go sideways. Before I can reach for my phone, the door's yanked open. Clipboard yanks me out. I hit gravel, ribs screaming. They go through my pockets. Somebody kicks me. Once, twice. I hear my phone skitter away, and everything slows, seconds stretching out, the world blurring. Then from the woods comes the sound of a truck, engine low, purposeful. Headlights slice through the dust, and suddenly my friends are there. Sam doesn't hesitate. He launches himself like he's back in Iraq, tackles holster guy into the barricade. Plastic flies, fists land. Nate's right behind, FBI badge out, voice thundering, drop your weapons. Clipboard freezes. Sam pins holster guy. The rest is a blur. Cops, statements, evidence bags, one fake security guard hauled off in cuffs. The other melts into the trees, leaving a trail of cheap bravado and coffee breath. As the adrenaline fades, I'm standing beside my battered car, blood drying on my cheek, watching a plastic wall that should never have been built in the first place. Nate leans over. You think this was random? I shake my head. Not a chance. This is Karen's stink all over it. By that evening, the county's crawling with law and order. The deputies promise to return, property lines in hand. I tell them to bring coffee. I know the playbook. Falsified maps, fake authority, intimidation. Same as ever. The next morning, as I'm nursing bruised ribs and a stiff drink, a black SUV glides up the drive. Out steps a woman in a cream blazer, sunglasses big enough to shield a small country, flanked by two guys who look like they could bench press my truck. She strides up, all confidence and rehearsed charm. Mr. Cassidy, I'm Carla DRI, president of Willow Downs HOA. I understand there's been an unfortunate misunderstanding. I try not to laugh. Is that what you call sending men to beat up property owners and shake them down for 200 grand? She gives me a thin smile. Our records show your property falls under our jurisdiction. You've been using our roads and utilities. I pull out my deed, wave it for emphasis. Lady, this land predates your subdivision by half a century. If your paperwork says otherwise, it's either forged or you've lost your mind. Her muscle hands me a folder. Maps, notary stamps, signatures, the whole dog and pony show. Problem is, the property management firm listed doesn't exist. The documents are so fake, I could see the printer ink still drying. She bristles. We're compliant with county registration. I can't resist. Funny, I wrote some of those laws. For a heartbeat, her mask slips. Then she gathers herself. Then you know this can go to civil court. Can't wait, I say. But until then, you're trespassing. Sheriff can show you the way out. They leave, but it's not over. Sam and Nate flank me. Sam says, she seemed familiar to you? And something clicks. The voice, the posture, the cold tilt of her chin. Karen Dorman. Different name, same venom. I stay up late, combing through old case files. Mugshot to security footage. There's no doubt. I send both to Nate, who confirms it. Carla DRI is Karen Dorman, paroled early, legally barred from any admin or fiduciary work. She broke her parole the moment she became HOA Queen Bee. Next morning, I find a manila envelope at the end of my driveway. Inside are photos, my house, my car, me at my desk. Last one's a note, taped to my mailbox. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. No signature. That kind of threat doesn't need one. Now, here's your twist. Karen's not just after cash. She wants revenge. She's rebuilt her empire right next to mine. But this time I have friends. Nate starts digging. Burner phones, shell companies, signatures traced to dead firms in North Carolina and Florida. Sam stays close, his idea of comfort a six-pack and a baseball bat. We piece it together. Karen's running a ghost corporation, collecting dues for an HOA that only exists on forged paperwork. Then, a break. Brian, a nervous contractor and Willow Downs resident, shows up. He's scared out of his mind. Tells me Karen made him sign fake membership papers, threatened to kill his building permits if he questioned her, And last night someone smashed his windshield and left a note. You're next. He hands me copies, real signatures, photos, and a smoking gun memo to apply pressure to my property. Nate grins. She just confessed. In writing. We sent it all to the state attorney. Warrants drafted before dinner. Karen's not done. Calls a meeting, riles up the neighborhood, accuses me of assault, the FBI of harassment. But now people are scared. Some cry, some call the police, some slide anonymous letters under my door. Evidence, emails, forged invoices. Her kingdom's crumbling, and she's too blinded by ego to see it. Morning of the bust, the county's a circus. Cops, FBI, news vans, choppers buzzing like hornets. Her treasurer cracks, confesses to wiring money offshore. Security guys are arrested for assault. Only Karen is missing, until a state trooper spots her speeding north in a Lexus, all-cream blazer and cracked sunglasses. They pull her over, bring her in, and when she sees me in the sheriff's lobby, she hisses, still chasing me. Counselor? I just smile. Not this time. You chased yourself. Search warrants turn up cash, hard drives, fake property records, and a spreadsheet labeled operations, with my name at the top. Nate says, you really make friends everywhere you go. Media explodes. HOA Queen Pin arrested, the headlines scream. Residents gather, shell-shocked, betrayed. Karen's behind bars, the HOA's dissolved, every dirty dollar returned to the folks she stole from. My land's quiet again. 3 months later, trial time. Fairfax County Courthouse is packed. Karen tries every excuse. Her lawyers claim I provoked her, that the road was always community property, that she was just a pawn. Reeves, the prosecutor, tears them apart. I testify. I tell it all, the ambush, the lies, the threats. Jury doesn't need long. Guilty on all counts. 17 years. No parole. As the judge reads the sentence, Karen's mask finally shatters. For the first time, she knows she's not the smartest one in the room. Restitution flows back to the homeowners. I get a civil settlement for my troubles, enough to buy a whole new patch of peace if I wanted it. After court, a reporter asks how it feels to win. I tell him it's not a win. It's just cleaning up a mess nobody should have had it twice. So here's what I learned, and maybe it'll hit you like it hit me. Evil doesn't disappear when you shut the door. Sometimes it moves next door, changes its name, and waits for you to get comfortable again. And justice? Justice is slow, messy. Sometimes it's not about grand gestures. It's about refusing to let the worst people write the rules for everyone else. Summer rolls in. The lake glitters. County crews tear down the last of the fake signs. My friends and I finally get that barbecue, jokes, beer, and not a uniform in sight. I hang a new sign at the gate. Heavy steel, bold letters, private property. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Sam laughs, says I've gotten subtle in my old age. Nate toasts to old enemies and better endings. And as the sun dips behind the trees, I think of Karen, how her empire of lies, built on other people's peace, crumbled when the truth finally caught up. Karma isn't always poetic. Sometimes it's just a battered lawyer with good friends and a stubborn streak, standing his ground one more time. Now, let me ask you, where's the line between standing up for what's right and becoming the thing you fight? Is justice always justice if it comes at a cost? Have you ever tangled with someone who thought the rules didn't apply to them? Tell me your story, because out here on the edge of the lake, I finally learned that sometimes to have peace, you've got to fight like hell to keep it.